Good afternoon. Today I'm very happy to welcome Ms. Kimberleigh Stark, actress, television presenter, and casting director, and other artistic tasks, talking to us from South Africa. How are you, Kimberly? Thank you very much for accepting the live.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm awesome. How are you?
Fine. Thank you very much for joining the live. Before we talk about your current projects and upcoming projects, can you talk to us about your start of interest into the art? How did you polished your talent and your studies until you become a professional artist?
Okay. Well, from about the age of, I think, 4, I knew that I was that way inclined. My mom's a doctor, my dad is a writer, and yeah, I always wanted to be a ballerina and an actress. So I started taking ballet classes at 4,
Really?
and yeah, and
Hmm.
I took drama in school like most kids. And when I was about 11 years old, I think, I got a full scholarship to the American Conservatory Theater of San Francisco. So that's where I got my more formal training. I carried on taking, drama classes and stuff like that throughout my whole life. But the American Conservatory Theater of San Francisco is where I actually got my foundation, which is such a blessing to be able to get a scholarship to such an amazing institute. So and as you can hear, I grew up, I live in South Africa, but I was born and raised in California. And I moved to South Africa in the 80s. And there was a huge TV movie boom happening. And with my American accent, I got lots of work. So it was awesome.
Yes.
And of course, my talent.
Yes. South Africa, I've been in two times in Durban Festival as a jury, and this year I was for the third time. Uh,
Oh,
but we did online the deliberation and the viewership this year. And I'm Egyptian, but I live in Latin America right now with my wife. So South Africa is a very a close place, to us in Egypt and in Africa. And what in I like about South Africa, it became a rising industry and a shooting location as well for Africans. This is correct.
yes, yes.
And tell me about your experience in the industry, your start there, and how things change until now. We are near at the end of the year 2022.
Yeah, I mean, a lot has changed since I first began my career here in South Africa. I have been very blessed. I've worked a lot. And like you say, South Africa is sort of a filmmaking hub. And, I've worked on a lot of international films here. I've worked on German productions, mostly American productions. But there's so much filming that happens here, more now in Durban than there used to be. But a lot of the films that I've worked on, we've shot in Johannesburg and in Cape Town. Cape Town seems to be
Yes.
quite the favorite, but it's exciting to see Durban coming up and growing. I actually shot a movie in Durban once. Gosh, what year was that? It must have been 1987, called Platoon Leader, with Chuck
Yes.
Norris's brother. Chuck Norris's brother was
Yes.
directing it, Aaron Norris. So yeah, there's a lot that happens in South Africa. I found that it sort of tapered off. It's not as busy as it once was. It seems to be picking up again a little bit in Cape Town. A lot of it had to do with there was like in the olden days, there used to be like really good tax incentives to help drive people to South Africa from an international perspective. And I don't think those tax breaks are there in place anymore, but it's still a really amazing location with such diverse, areas. So you've got your ocean and your mountains and your forest and deserts. I mean, it's incredible. So I'm hoping that it's going to start picking up. Obviously, with COVID, like every place else, we really, really everything shut down. So the industry really struggled. Um, but the one thing that I have discovered living here for as long as I have is when I first came here, um, because I don't fit into a category as such. I was able
Uh-huh.
to play all kinds of different roles and do all kinds of different things. Now, with everything, all the changes that have happened in our country here, they're
Yeah.
very proudly South African. So my accent actually works against me because it's like, I mean, I might have lived here for a very long time, but I still have my American accent. So
Of course.
that plays, yeah, that makes it a bit difficult for me. Um, and I'm also at that weird age. I'm too old for the romantic lead, but I'm too young to play the granny sort of thing. So it's
Yeah.
like it's very interesting career wise. But I mean, I stay here and I hope and I train other artists and I work with up and coming actors and I've got an agency, so I manage some really amazing actors. So that keeps me
Yeah.
busy when I'm not acting. So yeah.
Hmm. You know, what you told me right now, I heard it before from many actors when they are, in a transitional stage, in their career. I
Mm.
mean, they cannot play young or very old, characters, and
Yes.
sometimes it lower your casting and your calls until you reach, certain age, or you're convincedly, to appear reflecting your age, in other roles. But
Mm.
among your
Mm.
filmography, I noticed you appeared in many action films. You mentioned one, and I see you starred in Cyber Cup with David Bradley in the 90s. This is correct?
Yes, I actually worked with him and two. I was actually in Cyber Cop 1 and 2. So the Cyber Cop
Yes.
1, I'm right at the very very beginning, and they decided that they liked me, so they brought me back and gave me the
In,
part. I can't remember her
in
name
another
now,
cat,
but I play. Yeah, and
Gloria
another character
Alvarez.
completely. Yes, that's
Yes.
right.
Yes, because
Yes,
these kind of
Gloria.
movies, these the kind of movies I used to go and rent at the time, during the VHS tape era, and also Project
I
Shadows.
still have
Shadow,
VHS. Shadow Chaser?
Ro-
Oh no.
yeah, 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 yeah. Hmm.
Okay, and then
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did
This,
Nostradamus Syndrome, Nostradamus, the
yeah.
American Ninja. Yeah,
Hmm.
and
I think these films were
lots of
with
them.
the PM Entertainment, or I don't remember the company, because they produced a lot of films during that time. I
Yes, it
mean,
was
it
New
was a
World.
new word. Yes, 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 yes.
Yes,
Correct.
Avi
Yes.
Lerner, Danny
Uh-huh.
Lerner.
Yes.
Yeah,
But tell me,
they.
Kimberly. Yes, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, Danny Lerner actually went on to do the Irreplaceables. I think it's called. It was
Uh-huh.
quite a big movie, and unfortunately, he passed away just a few years ago. But he shot a lot of films here. It was incredible. I must with New World. I think I must have done about 8 films.
Yes.
One had Robert Downey Jr. in it, Billy Zane in it, Robert Mitchum, Bo Derek. They brought out a lot of
Yes.
actors
Yes.
over. Yeah.
I think they were very successful to cast American actors, and I see as well you are fortunate to appear in The Revenger with Oliver Reed. One of the biggest British actor.
I've
Of
never
course, he.
seen it. I have never
Yeah, yeah,
seen that film ever. I'm
yes,
terrified that you've seen it because I haven't seen it.
yes. But tell me, Kimberly, I see that you beside being an actress, you started to develop other projects as well. Like you said to me, you do coaching as well. You have a casting agency right now.
Yes, yes. I have a company called Stark Raving Management, and
Mm-hmm.
we find young up and coming talents and we work with them. And I've had some very, very established South African actors as well, and still do on my books, which is amazing. And then I find that I get a lot of satisfaction working as a performance coach. So I've been
Mm-hmm.
doing a lot of performance coaching, and to try and also help uplift the industry. I give online classes for free on Instagram, where people come in, they do monologues, and then I work as a performance coach, and I sort of give them guidelines and try to encourage them, because I think we spend so much time as artists going to auditions and never getting feedback. And as a casting director, I understand that. I mean, I've cast a lot of the local television series, very popular ones here, and you get so many people coming in to audition, but you don't have time to actually sit and give feedback. And by the time you have locked down that character, when their agents phone, you're sort of like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't even remember, because you see so many people. So I decided to start Monologue Wednesday on Instagram, so that I could work you know as a casting director, but also as a performance coach. So people come online, they do their monologues for me, and then I work with them and I tell them where their
Mm-hmm.
strengths are lying, and I try and encourage them and stuff like that. And I give them that feedback that they so desperately want to hear from a casting director, because I put my casting director cap on, and I just try and give them the feedback that they don't get when they walk out of an audition. And I know how frustrating it is, because you walk out of the audition and you have no idea what you're doing right or wrong. So I try and give that to them.
Yes, I don't know if you remember the actress Joanna Cassidy. You know,
Yes.
she she of course she did many films, including Blade Runner and Force Protocol, many co-starring roles on cinema and television, and she was a model, and as
Yes.
well I think she was a co-founder of a platform called CoachTheWorld.com. Have you ever heard of
Oh,
it?
no.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. I'm being part of this platform. It's a coaching platform. Exactly what you do on Instagram. You can create a profile, and people can have like a private chat with you, depending on your practice. I mean, she also does coaching there, and also among the actors there, Andrew Stevens, and many.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. If you look the website, I think maybe you can find a lot of people who can seek your client. It is coachtheword.com. Very
That
easy to
is
find.
Coach the
Uh,
World. Coach the World.
.com. Yeah, yeah,
Coach the World. I'm writing this down because I'm definitely going to check it
yeah,
out. .com
yeah.
on Instagram.
No, it's a platform you enter,
Uh,
and you can book the talent you want to coach you. And I think it's something like Fiverr, but it's
Okay.
specifically for entertainment and arts and education.
Wow.
It's very interesting. Yeah, yeah,
Well, thank you for
yeah,
that. I'm definitely going to check that out.
yeah, yeah. And for people
And
to
I
check
love
out your
Joanna
work.
Cassidy. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, and Kimberly, tell me right now, I've seen you have experience in becoming a judge, a jury member. So, what were the most exciting jury duty you had so far?
Gosh, okay. So I'm very blessed. I've been involved with the South African Film and Television Awards since its onset,
Yeah,
which is we've had it for 16 years now. So I've worked
yeah,
as a performance chair, and I judge the performances, and I've been doing that for the last 16 years. But I've also had the privilege of being a jury member for the international Oscars, the foreign language Oscar awards. I've been on the jury there 4 times, maybe 5 times, and then my one that I had such a blast because I got to go to New York was for the International Emmy Awards, and that was amazing. We flew to New York and just went to the International Emmys, and it was just so fabulous. And it was so good to be home. I hadn't been home at that stage for like 15 years. So it was like the first time I was going home. And then to go home and, with that sort of entourage just was such an amazing feeling.
Yes. And Kimberly, right now, nearly the end of the year, do you have new projects you can uh, share them with us? Any dreams, any aspiration for the new year?
I just, for me, it's like I believe making every single day like a brand new year. So you wake up and you never know what's going to happen. I didn't know I was going to be speaking to you a couple of days ago. So I like keeping my life very open. There's quite a lot of things that are coming in. I've been working as a senior writer for a PR company. So it's got me going to um, watching a lot of movies and doing my little write up on the movies and launches and stuff like that. So this time of year is quite busy event wise. I've got a little online channel called TMTVSA, and
Hmm.
I post what's happening out and about and who's doing what. So that this time of year that usually keeps me quite busy. Um,
Hmm.
but now that I'm back in the writing, I mean, I've got a really nice project that I wrote many years ago with my sister
Yes.
and another director who's amazing, Dave Hickson. And I'm really, really hoping to be able to pitch that and get it developed. So if you have any contacts at Netflix, let me know. Because I really want to pitch this. I'm ready. I'm ready to pitch it. I like being behind the scenes, but there's a part in that particular series that I wrote that's really good for me. So it'll get me back in front of camera and behind camera, which is what I really want to do.
Great. Netflix, Peacock, Amazon, whatever you like.
You go speak to them for me, darling. Okay, you can be my executive producer.
Great. Great. I'm very happy that you are coming back to writing and appearing on the screen as well. I'm sure you're
Thank
helping a
you.
lot of artists, I mean, not only in South Africa, but I think through other platform like the one I mentioned to you and other, you can expand your tutorial practice, around the world to all the English speaking young people. Because when I was in South Africa and also in other places of Africa, I noticed there are a lot of talent that
Yes,
still need guidance.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
absolutely. And I mean, I really feel that the talent here in South Africa is can compete worldwide. It really, really can. One actor that well, I've got quite a couple, but the one actor that I'm working with right now, um, that's doing a lot of international work, is so good. And I mean, he's just come off a canal production and a Netflix production. This young man is going to kick down doors worldwide. He is just such a wonderful actor. And when I found
great.
him, I was actually judging a BET show called Top Actor Africa.
Yes,
And I was one of the judges in this reality show, and I spotted this young man, and I was like, "Oh, I am signing you. I don't care. I don't care." And as soon as we finished up filming, I walked over to him and I said, "Please tell me you don't have an agent because I want you." And he's been with me now for about 5 years, I think, and he's done incredibly well. And I know he's going to make it on the international market because he's just such a dedicated young actor. And there's so many of these actors out here that just need the opportunity.
yes. And Kimberly, you don't mind mentioning your Instagram? People might watch our interview and would like to reach you out. So the best way is Instagram or your
Instagram
company
or
website.
Facebook. Yeah.
Mhm.
So my
Yes.
Instagram handle is I am a girl. IEMMY girl, IME girl.
Yeah.
And that's because when I went and was on the jury for the International Emmy Awards, I was not on Instagram. And one of the my fellow jurors was with me, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you have to be on Instagram." And because I was
Yeah.
there for the International Emmy Awards, I named it IME girl. So you can find me at IME girl or Kimberleigh Stark on Facebook.
Good. Yes, they ask your Instagram because they want to tag you, of course.
Tag me, tag me. Let me see you. I love it. And I'm very quick to respond, as you know. I like to interact. I'm very proactive. I don't sit and wait for things. I when something pops up and it presents itself, I'm there.
Great. Kimberly, I want to thank you very much for this live quick interview. Very happy to make your acquaintance online. I wish
Y
you all
tú
the best.
también.
Gracias.
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 And thank you, thank you, thank you so much for reaching out. And it's wonderful to meet you. And I hope that you will be
Well,
my executive producer on my production.
hopefully, yes, and best wishes in all your work as a coach, as a television actress, coaching, everything. And I look forward for the
Thank you.
release of your new writing projects as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care. Have a lovely afternoon in South Africa.
Tú también. Adiós.
Adios. Thank you.